Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Sukhman Najjar, and today I will be moderating the session. This is a part of a monthly series of webinars to update not only our investors, but our friends and followers of company updates and announcements. Today, I'm happy to be joined by 1World online team members across the board representing various departments. So we have Alex Fedosseev, the CEO and founder. For our engineering team, we have Maria and Ramon. Sales and business development represented by Robin. Operations represented by Daniel and Julia. Customer success represented by Emily. And social media and community represented by Dominique and Leonard. We'll end today's session with a Q&A opportunity where our attendees can ask questions directly to our panelists. If you do have any questions, you can submit them via Zoom if you just scroll your cursor below to our Zoom little panel. There's a Q&A button where you can actually submit it, and we'll be sure to address them towards the end of today's session. Alex?
Hello, everybody. Just want to make sure you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, everybody, for joining. It's an interesting month because we completed our Q3 2020, and we have plenty of good news to share on all fronts: product, business, strategic partnerships. And for people who are joining us for the first time, I'll do a quick introduction. Just remind everybody what is 1World product, what we do for our customers, and what values we bring in. 1World is a platform for publishers and brands that allow us to do interactive experiences and supplement the content with questions in the form of polls, quizzes, debates, and other interactive tools. We have advertising solution attached to it, so we make money through advertising. And we have plenty of tools to keep audiences happy, engaged, motivated, incentivized. So we consider our value proposition as win-win-win. And advertisers, they target their customers the right way in relevant context. Publishers increase their revenue, but also they increase retention. They solve the problem with the people leaving pub websites and going to social media to consume the news. And audiences incentivized, which is essentially brings Web 3.0 value proposition when it's not just internet of information, but internet of value. We combine all three pieces together, and you can see on the screen an example of mobile experience when you have an article, have a poll question next to it, and there's advertising next to it. That's our simple representation. I can show you also quickly how it looks on the desktop. Let's say you're looking at the San Francisco Examiner, one of our customers, and the article is supplemented with a nice interactive poll and relevant advertising. So essentially, the whole experience becomes much more organic and native. So you have article, contextual poll, contextual ad, and as a result, your engagement goes much higher than usual. A lot of people participate. They spend more time on the site. There's some intelligence about these users, so you can target them for advertising. And overall, it creates just better experience and more organic growth for all publishers. Now, there are plenty of examples. If you visit our website, there's a section that you can go and check out a variety of formats. And the backend of our platform is also very developed. You can see that we have all kind of analytical tools. We have maps, tracking by poll, tracking by widget, all kind of AI components plugged in. So there's a lot of intelligence built over these 8 years of development. And on the front end, of course, it's not just a simple polls. There are many different formats. We have quizzes, debates, survey, and other interactive formats that can be deployed and are fully customizable. So they can be branded and shaped and sized the way the customer needs in a specific environment. And one important thing about 1World is just really unique on the market of this engagement and advertising tools is that we have our token economy that allows to incentivize people and motivate them to register and become not just readers, but participants on these websites. And of course, when people are registered and when they continuously actively engaged on the site, there's an intelligence layer that helps to do better advertising with better results. And we'll definitely share some examples, recent case studies where we demonstrated outstanding performance. So again, we connect publishers, advertisers, and audiences. What's interesting about our evolution, I wanted to share the slide, which we didn't show before. We call this widgets or modules interactive media units, or IMU, because that's really what represents their nature. And our transition is going from IMU 1.0 which initially was built just as interactive content, no advertising, just a module to provide poll questions and analytics, to version 2.0 around 2016, which includes advertising, which could be two types, programmatic or direct advertising. And now we're in the middle of transition from IMU 2.0 to 3.0, which means that we develop now quite universal container that might accept content of all types. And that's one of our partnerships that we'll be discussing today, and I'll continue giving the updates. So that's essentially where we are today. And IMU 2.0 is our prime product, but we develop in IMU 3.0. And it's going to be a big focus for 2021. One thing I want to mention about the market, that we can see that market is developing exactly the way we envisioned. There's more and more global native advertising, and it's kind of winning over the traditional static banner ads, which are on the way out. They're very low efficiency and not organic. So we can see around the globe, from North America to Europe, Asia, and other parts of the world, that the native advertising is on the rise, and it's going to be majority of ads online. So 1World is part of the really nice trend. In terms of company goals and strategy for 20 and especially 21, we continue growing our publisher network as a main objective, and our team members will talk about it. And currently, because of COVID-19, we can see opportunity for really fast expansion. We reported a few times about our successes in Africa and Caribbean region, so that all continues, but there's more. Actually, we're doing really interesting projects in Asia and other parts of Europe right now. On top of this network, we're building really scalable revenue streams through channel partnerships, and they come in 3 different sources: programmatic, direct deals, and editorials. So you're going to hear a little bit more about all these developments on the product side. And of course, in order to grow our business between publishers and advertisers, we need to do a really good job on operationalizing and automating our processes. And so Dan and team are doing, and Julia are doing an excellent job of putting all the processes and running these campaigns in a very organized and already semi-automated way, and continue building more on top of it. So lastly, I want to mention that the partnership with Algorand that we announced during one of our previous webinars is continuing very strong. We're probably going to dedicate the whole session towards the end of the year, in maybe December or January, to discuss our next milestone. But so far, so good. We're moving very steadily. There's a lot of progress on the product side, also a lot of discussions on the business side. So this is developing very nicely. And with this, I transition to our next speaker, Maria from engineering team. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Now I'm sharing my screen. Sorry. So hello everyone, my name is Maria. I'm engineering project manager, and today I'm going to share with you our product updates per the Q3 and beginning of Q4. And I would like to start with the new role in our system. It is agent. We've delivered the full business flow for this role. It was created to have an opportunity to manage campaigns on behalf of advertiser. So the admin can assign the agent role to a regular existing user, as we can see here. He can click this button, make user an agent. After this, the admin also can attach the agent role to one or several advertisers and vice versa. So after that, the agent has access to assigned advertisers only. And after he logs in, the system transfers him to the page with the list of available advertisers. And here he can see advertiser's name, number of campaigns in different statuses, etc. Then agent can choose particular advertiser and access his account. Here agent can see general statistics or see statistics for the particular campaign. He's also able to create a new campaign or edit and clone existing ones on behalf of advertiser. To create new campaign, the agent should tap this button, create campaign, and fill up required fields, such as start date of the campaign, budget, audience, etc. Moreover, the agent is able to create new creatives on behalf of advertiser. There are 4 available options: poll as an ad, poll and static banner, poll only, and static banner only. And also agent can replenish the balance of the advertiser. He can use advertiser's credit card for this, but he doesn't have access to already saved credit cards. Or he can use also bank invoice option, as we can see here. And on the last step, the agent has an opportunity to pay for the campaign. He can use either advertiser's balance for payment or his credit card or bank invoice option. And also for token campaigns, he can make a payment from his blockchain wallet. The next feature I would like to show is rotation management in the widget. Previously, if the user arrived to the last poll in the widget, he had just 2 options: go forward to the first poll in rotation again, or go back to previous polls. This new option that we can see here, if we select this limited option, allows publishers to stop the cycle of rotation. So if the user will arrive to the last poll, he will have only one option to go back. And one more new option here is the widget settings. On the widget settings page is ability to hide the widget. Also, we can see here. When publisher turns on this option, the widget disappears from the website, so nobody can see it. And to reverse this change, publisher should turn off this option, so the widget will show up again. Currently, this option available for poll widget and trivia widget. So we can hide the widget in a quick way if it is necessary. The next feature is the automatic creation of default widgets upon publisher's registration. After the registration in account of this particular partner, 2 default polls and 2 default widgets appear, horizontal and vertical. So this is very convenient for publishers who are not yet familiar with our system to see these widgets as an example how it works. Yes. And the most recent update from this current iteration that we have related to advertorial feature. That is the first version we are going to implement. So advertorial, it is a new type of promotion approach that helps create and publish promo articles on the publisher's side. We want to cover a new type of campaign, advertorial, to increase the number of channels of revenue on the one hand, and provide new opportunities for advertisers on the other hand. Also, we can generate additional income stream for publishers. So now only agent has an opportunity to create advertiser order. To create the order, agent should open advertiser's profile that is assigned to him and click this button, create order. Also, he can edit existing orders from this list. On the first step, agent should fill up these fields, select appropriate cluster, then select a category, then number of publications, and select the tier. Each tier level has its own price. Tier 1, it is $3,000, tier 2, $1,500, and tier 3, $500. Then he should click Save. And on the second step, he should select title of the article, upload in an image, and type the text of the article. Also, we can link appropriate widget to the article if it is necessary. And then we can click Save and go to payment page. And here we can use advertiser's balance to pay for this advertorial order. After that, advertorial order appears on the admin dashboard under campaigns, advertorials. Here, admin can see all advertorial orders. If he select appropriate one, then this page opens order detail. Here we can see advertiser name, campaign name, number of publications, status, etc. And we can click preview to see all details of this campaign. And here also admin can manually fill up the content distribution page. Fill up the name of inventory, budget, receiver email, sponsored poll URL, and status, and click Save. So I think, yes, that's it from my side. It's just MVP of advertorial, and of course, we will implement the better version of the advertorial in our future releases. Thanks for your attention. Roman.
Thank you, Maria. Let me share my screen, please. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Roman, and I'm a business analyst in 1World company. And today I'd like to make some overview of our nearest plans from the product development perspective. So we have made an analysis of our current customers, their needs, etc. And we determined that in the nearest quarter, the Q4 of 2020, we will be focused on VIP customers for as an advertiser and publisher sites. So for the advertiser, we want to extend the agents opportunities because agents work with VIP advertisers and agencies. And it is very important to give them more opportunities and more functionality to do any actions on behalf of the advertiser side. Also, we want to extend the list of available creatives. What it means that we want to add to the existing list. That includes poll as an ad, poll only, poll plus banner, and banner only. Also, we want to add a sponsored poll. It will be a new great type of campaign, and with I think very good viewability and great CTR. So I think we will increase our good metrics after this. And yeah, also we want to create to add trivia as an ad, maybe quiz as an ad, to extend the list of opportunities for our advertisers and agents. The next feature that we want to implement is a direct deal flow. We want to use our inventory better, faster, and make this process more comfortable for admins. So we will build a media placement feature. So the admin will be available to launch campaigns through 1World inventory. So work with our publishers directly. Another feature, it is about reports, and there are a lot of different reports that we want to implement. But for advertisers, it will be about bulk export stats for several campaigns. Also, it will be revenue stats for publishers that work with our advertisers. And our internal statistics, where we will count our performance in the revenue metric. And if we talk about publishers, we want to build a clear onboarding. It can be, we have different ideas how to do it better, but I think that we will, first of all, we will add some knowledge base. We will create better UI for users, for publisher users, and also maybe we'll create some tutorials in the platform or outside of it. Another very important point is the content matching. As you know, the our publishers use our widget in the website, and the polls in the widget should be relevant. So we want to make better our process of matching polls and articles and automate this process as better as possible. And also we want to involve more publishers to the paid model, because we have a really big list of publishers that are in our platform, but not all of them work with us with a paid model. And I think it's a good strategic goal. And about business support strategy, from this quarter, we want to start to work with the Kanban methodology, and it will help us to be more flexible, to cover business needs faster, and deliver new features faster too. And if we talk about our focus in general, we will add more than 70% to the version, to the release from the new tasks, and 30% we will hold for frequency requests, bugs, improvements, etc. And also we want to change our approach of prioritization. We want to use ICE metrics. That means that all features will be prioritized not from the mind and internal feelings. We will count the priority with the real numbers and with the clear understanding what we do, what we want to get, and how much time and effort we will spend for this feature. And this improvement should increase the performance of the engineering team and help us to work better and deliver better product to our users. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thanks, Roman.
Should I just jump in, Alex?
Yes, please,
Yep,
Robin.
go for it.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Happy Q4. I'm going to share my screen here. And let me see. Can everybody share see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Fantastic. As mentioned, my name is Robin Skripik. I'm in charge of sales and business development here in the US and oversee a lot of the regions here globally. It's nice to meet everybody. Couple things I want to discuss briefly with respect to Q4 highlights is, give some highlights in the specific regions and then really speak to the approach that we're having as it relates to publisher development and sales. And so I'll just go over these briefly. As most of you know, one of our flagship partners is Newsweek.com. And this is a great example of an organization that really sees the value of the 1World engagement, monetization, and loyalty solution. In recent talks, we've established a partnership where Newsweek will be issuing out tokens to their users and putting the loyalty program into play as we envisioned it, and are really excited about the fact that we have them as a flagship partner to be able to spotlight in our future discussions with new publishers. Another opportunity that was really enlightening is we had a live debate campaign recently. It was with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. And one of the huge opportunities that we saw was the IMU widget direct sales opportunity, specifically the ad placements while that debate was going on. They're excited about this opportunity because, as with all publishers, everyone is looking to increase their RPMs, their page RPMs. And we feel we can do that with those live placements, attract a lot of tier 1, tier 2 advertisers who really want to be in front of those consumers at that time. So that's really exciting. They're on board with that, and we're exploring how to make that happen sooner than later. And then the last highlight with the same publisher is our debate, I believe it's this week, which we're ramping up to have custom polls live and also prepared polls so that the readers can engage with those particular poll questions while the debates are happening. So it's pretty exciting, and that just that use case alone it's pretty exciting to be able to promote globally as well as here in the United States. So just wanted to highlight that. Talks and connections currently that we have going into Q4, Britannica.com, which is a great branded publisher that has a lot of functionality in terms of engagement and loyalty already on their site, is engagement specifically speaking to quizzes today. So an early connection with them to see if there's any synergies and ways we can potentially strike a partnership. Fluent.com is a large lead generator in America with a similar type model in terms of the way they're approaching their consumers that we think there's a lot of synergies as well. We're in talks with the US News, which is in alignment with our news and media channels. Target.com is a e-commerce site that is utilizing display and programmatic to monetize their pages, and we see an opportunity as well with our solution there. As it relates to global highlights, been working with our regional contact in that area, the Caribbean. We're in discussions and in demo stages with Loop News, which is one of the largest news and media publications throughout the region, as well as in contact with Jamaica Observer. And then Z Pages is an interesting opportunity that will land us into the Indian market. As most know, we're working with Times of India and see a tremendous opportunity in that region as well. With respect to publisher development and sales outreach, going into Q4, I will say our efforts have increased exponentially and will look to do so moving forward into 2021. The picture to the right says it all. A lot of our folks these days are busy, right? They have a lot of priorities, a lot of things on their plate, and a lot of people approaching them with respect to partnering or being able to, see some value in terms of their solution to help those publishers out with their efforts, right? And so we're not, we're no different. And so we need to get creative, and so we're doing this. So some of the strategies that we're putting in place regarding messaging, positioning, is one of them is the cookieless ecosystem. I don't know if you guys all know, cookies are used for ad targeting, retargeting, and behavioral marketing. And in the coming years, this particular practice is going to be taken out of the equation. So what does this mean for advertisers? Well, if the advertisers don't know who they're advertising to, they're marketing blindly. And so publishers in the future need to start thinking that they need to find a solution for this. And that solution, in our opinion, that time for change is now, right? And so loyalty programs provide a value to users in exchange for their data, first-party data. And we have that solution through our token economy and through our back-end solution to be able to allow that particular consumer to exchange it for currency, and potential discounts with the existing publisher, and a lot of different ways that can be defined. But ultimately, what we're looking to do is reach out to these publishers and really get on their radar about what's really going to be important to them. And as mentioned, time has changed. So that is one of the efforts that we're going out with respect to our outreach and our conversations. Early indication is we're getting a 25% open rate on our email correspondence that we're sending out, which is great, as compared to very low rates when you start just speaking to the what I call more of the same. And we don't want to be the same, otherwise our efforts will not work, essentially. Another approach that we're taking with respect to the verticals and niche verticals we're going after, crypto and cannabis, is going out to these publishers in what I call 3 birds with 1 stone type of approach. And specifically speaking, we on the sales side of the equation are able to reach out to these particular publishers and leverage our IMUs and our engagement unit. And so going out to these particular publishers who we ultimately want as a publisher utilizing our core solution to increase engagement, monetization, and loyalty. However, in the event that they just don't see that value immediately, our approach is to be able to contact these particular publishers and a contact to be able to allow them to know what type of direct sales and campaigns that we're going to be putting together and how we'd want to integrate so that we can actually build our sphere of publishers and contacts much deeper so that we can actually get through those conversations and campaigns up and running. In lieu of that, having a contact, we also could potentially be speaking to the correct contact regarding our core solution, or potentially be redirected. So I think that approach is really proving eye-opening. Specifically, we're seeing a 38% open rate, right? As with all publishers are looking to increase revenue, RPMs. And when you start talking about direct ad campaigns, this is definitely much higher returns than the programmatic. And so we're not doing a bait and switch per se. We're specifically speaking about campaigns that we're going to be bringing out to them and putting together with niche verticals, specifically crypto and cannabis. So we're excited about that. The theme this quarter going into 2021 is increased activity, which is happening. The last slide I'll go over, just to remind everybody of the type of products that we are selling. We're selling direct deals or banners that are in our IMUs and deployed throughout the 1World networks via our smart tags that live within the IMUs. Native ad creatives, so we'll fully assemble these IMUs, which are the polls plus the ad below, quiz plus the ad below, etc., to be able to share this with our advertisers and be able to explain the value of the performance of that type of formula. Sponsored polls, as it says here, special placements for advertisers to include sponsors polls. And advertisers like this because they are in relevant type of content and very contextual, and the performance is definitely much higher than the programmatic display. As Maria mentioned earlier, advertorials is another channel that we're going to be ramping up. We're super excited about this. Advertorials, as well as sponsored type of placements, garner a higher revenue, as well as, for the publishers, higher RPMs. And as always, we have the federation services that are supplemental marketing services that are provided through 1World, through the many different folks that we have within our network that we have vetted and feel extremely comfortable sharing with our advertisers who have other priorities to solve as it relates for their growth and momentum going into building the organization. That's it for me. I'm done with my part of the presentation here.
Great. Do you want to stop sharing your screen, Robin, so Dan could pick up for you?
Very good.
I think it might be up already in your bottom right. Yeah, there you go. Great. Dan, would you like to share your screen, please?
Sure. Thanks, Suk. Thanks, Robin. All right. And hello, everyone. I'm Dan Ward from the operations team. And today I'll share some of the highlights from operations from Q3. First off, we launched our Smart Tag advertising solutions across 1World's publisher partner network. And as we mentioned in the previous webinar, Smart Tags enable 1World to optimize inventory yield and to supply direct deals and programmatic advertising across our publisher partner interactive media unit inventory. We also continue to onboard additional direct deals and programmatic advertising partners to lift RPMs and provide publishers and advertisers with increasing value. Our native advertising solutions continue to evolve. In this quarter, we focused on streamlining our native ad campaign operations in order to decrease turnaround time to launch and develop more automation and provide more performance insights with deeper analytics and reporting enhancements. We've also begun working on new smart tag features that will enable hyper-targeted delivery of advertising and sponsored content. And on the publisher services side, our team has fine-tuned our planning and deployment processes to enable same-day publisher IMU deployments for time-sensitive events, such as those around the election season. And for example, 1World partnered with Newsweek during the recent vice presidential debate. The team curated and deployed 32 real-time debate polls that served before, during, and after the debate. Within the interactive media unit on Newsweek's page, 1World leveraged the smart tag solution to deliver high CPM advertising just below the 1World debate polls. And with that, I will hand it over to Julia.
Thank you. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Hello, everyone. Okay, can you see my screen? Great. Yes. Okay, thank you. So today I wanted to share our progress about advertisers. Last month was largely dedicated to reaching out to a lot of our partners we've previously worked with and a lot of new leads. So for example, we've already ran campaigns for Babylon project and we are now partnering with the Times Group. So this quarter and this month in general, we made a focus on several regions, one of those being Western Europe. We had several new advertising partners there, including Qubitac and including The Good Times, which is Switzerland-based website. And also we noticed that a lot of interest from the cryptocurrency related websites and services such as Binance, Babylon Project, Qubitac, and other companies. Yeah, so also we have a lot of interesting leads such as McDonald's and previously mentioned by Robin Target and Coursera, of course. So yeah, we're looking forward to sharing with you the results of these campaigns. As for the process, we've noticed two big trends for launching the advertising campaigns. One of those is integration with publishers, where the main goal usually is performance. By that, I mean actual conversion to the sale or to the registration for the event, not just clicks. So why this format is particularly suited to that purpose is that it is more flexible when we integrate our IMU into our existing publisher partner's website. We have more control over where we place the widget, the IMU, and what formats we choose. Also, we can supplement our native content, our interactive content, by an article. So it usually goes in a combination with advertorial article, sponsored article, and the sponsored quiz or sponsored poll. I will share with you an example in the next slide. The other format is a standard, like mostly standard ad, where we run our interactive content, for example, a poll as an ad unit through an ad server. This way, it is easier to distribute and place these ad units across several websites because there are no intermediary disputes or negotiations over where to place, how to integrate into the CMS of the publisher, etc. But on the other hand, it limits us in the formats and placements we could use. So yeah, and that means that the main purpose of such campaigns is usually the clicks, the transitions to the landing page of the advertiser. So here is how the typical integration with the publisher works. So our case number one here. So usually we have a sponsored article or an article which matches very closely to the content of our IMU, of the poll or the quiz. Yeah, and it usually is, in this case, usually we do not use the banners, the ad banners underneath. We just use the interactive piece. Here it is the poll, in order to make the experience for the user more native, because they read the article, which also relates to advertisers. Advertisers' business, and then they take the quiz or take the poll regarding the same topic, and this experience is uninterrupted. It is smooth and it is native. And here is the second example. So here it can be multiple websites. So here we used one website where we already placed our advertorial, and in this case it will be multiple websites. And the matching between the IMU and the content will be by section, by topic, not by article usually. And in this case, we are usually limited to the standard ad formats, like 300 by 600 or 300 by 250. Here is the example of the 300 by 600 sidebar ad, where the top part is an interactive part, like the poll, and the bottom half is the banner. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia.
Okay, let me switch off the demonstration.
Awesome. Next up, we have Emily. Emily, please share your screen.
Yep. Okay, hello everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Hi everyone, this is Emily, and I will be covering customer success updates from Q3 and going forward. Along with my content team, we continue to create unique polls, trivia, quizzes to our partners in the US, Caribbean, Latin America, UK, Europe, Asia, and Africa. For first-tier publishers in the US, our partners include Newsweek, IBT Media Group, which includes IB Times, UK and US editions, Medical Daily, Latin Times, and Player One. In Africa, Punch, Business Day Nigeria, The Nation, and in the Caribbean, Guardian TT, and CNC3. Now onto the metrics. In Q3, we have created over 6,200 polls that have generated over 6.6 million votes, received over 231 million widget views, which is up 25% from Q2, with an overall engagement rate of 3.2%. In particular, I would like to share exciting cases this quarter, starting with the Newsweek's VP debate, where we were approached to cover the event by providing pre-event polls, as well as creating polls as the event took place in real time. We created over 32 polls, which received a 19% engagement rate. Immediate audience feedback was collected, where all updates were shared in the social media channels to create organic boost. And tonight, 1World will be replicating this model for the presidential debate for Newsweek. So that's really exciting. Another event was our coverage of the CPL Tournament in the Caribbean last September. Again, we provided pre-event polls and created polls as the matches took place. We created over 80 polls, which generated around 5,000 votes and 200,000 widget views. We also provided native trending ads in the form of poll plus banner for contextual relevance. This model is great for sporting events and other verticals. We also provided content to our partner Guardian TT during their general elections this past summer, where we provided a survey that was deployed on their site with over 20 questions the weekend before the election. It allowed incentives, social media insights, and data analysis. We continue to create exciting trivia for our partners, serving via hashtags, which is highly engaging, with ad serving, which provides a revenue multiplier with crowdsource options. And also we offer debates, which provides two sides of the story with expert opinions, which are extremely engaging, with multiple rounds where audiences can vote, and also provides advertising and new streams of revenue. And last but not least, we also provide and offer engaging quizzes to our partners, which provide high viewability and new revenue streams through ad placements as well. With all these new first-tier publishers coming on board in Q4, I would like to reintroduce our new and improved product feature, SmartX, which will fully be functioning during the next quarter. SmartX uses an artificial intelligence engine to automatically link polls in our library to relevant articles, making the audience experience more engaging and more satisfying. And that's pretty much it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Next, we have Dominique to cover social media updates.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dominique. I'm the social media manager here at 1World. I just want to share with you some of the exciting ways that we are seeking to promote and optimize the various exciting programmatic activities as well as product updates that our platform has to offer. Currently at the moment, 1World, we are active on a number of various social media channels, ranging from Sapien, which is a new generation social media platform, Twitter, LinkedIn, Telegram, and Facebook. Some of the major events that we've been promoting and following on our social media channels include the Babylon Hackathon project, which was about a week and a half ago now, as well as other tech news that we get, as well as updates with across our industry in the ad tech space, as well as insights on the crypto news side. One of the most exciting things that we do on our channels and actually receives the most engagement and feedback is we post what's known as the poll of the day. Here we're showing some snapshots of our polls of the day, and they're quite interesting. But they seek to showcase just snippets of what people are thinking from some of the most engaging polls that we had on today. I'll just use one as an example. So in our poll, one of our featured polls from Latin Times, we saw that 56% of persons who answered said they're suffering from quarantine fatigue. And we see that these polls tend to get engagement over and over again, as well as they tend to stimulate dialogue within our community channels on the Telegram and in the WhatsApp app. We're seeking to continue to augment and increase our ability to be able to engage more users on social media. And as a shameless plug, if you have not liked 1World on our social media platforms, it is not too late. Our Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook pages are all amazing places where you can learn more about the platform as well as other company updates. Leonard?
Thank you, Dominique. Leonard, would you like to pick up?
Yes. Hello, everyone. To confirm, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Excellent. One moment. Am I sharing to confirm?
We cannot see your screen yet.
And if you want, Leonard, I can screen share for you.
Yeah, please do. That's a good idea, Dominic.
There you go.
We're sharing.
All right, is it visible, everyone? Hello.
Yeah, Dominic, please try to share the screen. Yeah, we hear you, Leonard, if you can start speaking.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. It shows up now.
Excellent. Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well today. My name is Leonard, and thank you for joining us. Allow me to provide some updates on developments concerning our community. In Q3, we focused on streamlining our support response in the form of faster inquiry resolution via our various support platforms. To further improve this experience, we're in the process of implementing a full ticket system with live help elements. This deployment is in progress and should be live within the quarter. In this new support environment, we will need to migrate our various existing knowledge bases. This is scheduled to begin once we have the aforementioned support infrastructure in place. We've also endeavored to streamline our existing support channels, namely Telegram and direct email support, to best support our platform users and potential investor inquiries. Our typical response window in Q2 was roughly 15 minutes on Telegram. We hope to maintain our new Q3 average of 5 minutes on this channel until the implementation of this ticket desk. Regarding community engagement, we've experimented with gamified modes of user participation on our main active channel, Telegram, and hope to also offer this opportunity on other channels, namely Twitter and WhatsApp. Along with our poll of the day feature, which we just spoke about, always successful, we hope to provide multiple opportunities for engagement outside of the platform that still reward users for their efforts. Along with this increased push for user involvement, we also want to emphasize user education. Besides reminding users of all the great existing functionality of our platform, we want to make sure to alert users to the new functionality in the works. This has been reflected in our messaging on our active channels and should be aided by having complete centralized knowledge base, as mentioned before. So really looking forward to the implementation of our ticket. Should do wonders for our customer response. Finally, we would like to emphasize the VIP group and develop a dedicated content schedule for this channel rather than the mirror approach currently underway. Be on the lookout for exclusive news and updates on this channel as we refine this process. If you're not aware, please advance the slide. If you're not aware, here's a complete list of our channels. Feel free to contact us via any one of these existing channels. The most timely response typically provided is on Telegram or by direct email if you need. That concludes my presentation. Thank you for your time. Let me hand you back to Suk for more information about PR and recent.
Thank you, Leonard. Appreciate it. Let
Thank
me
you.
share my screen here. Awesome. So, hello, everybody. Today, I'm going to be talking about a few opportunities of very recent PR and events that we've been attending. So most recently, 1World was an exclusive partner, a marketing partner, and a panel participant at the Babylon Hackathon. The Babylon Hackathon basically helped get together thousands of hackers, developers, engineers to basically create, prove of concepts of their products and be potentially receiving a reward. So our platform not only helped bring over 1,500 registrants, developers and startups to the actual the event itself, but we actually attended as a panelist. Our CEO Alex attended, and the panel discussion spoke on companies using blockchain and best practices for engaging in PR and community building and media. The interview will be released soon, and we'll be sure to share this via Republic and our social channels. Additionally, 1World, as everyone knows, has a huge presence in India with direct partnerships with Times International, one of the biggest publications in the region. Most recently, Alex, our CEO, was invited to be included on a panel discussion with Economic Times to discuss our role in shaping the digital marketing landscape. Catalyze is basically a recurring webinar that covers and introduces people in the space, in the marketing and branding space, and we're really happy to be included. And we'll be sharing this via our channels as well. Block Leaders is a publication that focuses on covering leaders in the tech space, but with a focus in blockchain. And we were most recently invited just this past week to cover the current, digital media landscape and the impact of blockchain on this space. That's obviously where 1World, lives in that intersection. So the video or interview will be released very soon, and we'll be able to share this via social channels in Republic as well. And last but not least, Technori is a very well-known media platform that focuses on covering entrepreneurs who are working on disruptive technologies. They actually have a very good relationship with Republic, which is the platform that we're actually launched our campaign on, our crowdfunding campaign on. So this is a really good opportunity to put our company front-facing to angel investors, seed investors around the world. We were invited recently as a guest in their podcast just this week, and the webinar interview will be released this week as well. So this just shows that we're being voluntarily added to these opportunities. We have the opportunity to space ourselves and actually be thought leaders in the space of the intersection between blockchain and media. And hopefully, along the way, we're going to be able to release these and get even more snowball effect and be able to introduce ourselves in various ways going forward. And that sums it up for this webinar for today. Right now, let's introduce or let's welcome in Alex again from the beginning. And we have a few questions that we can ask in terms of questions that we've collected over the past few weeks via Republic and through our support channels. But if you have any questions, please feel free to put your cursor on the Q&A button and start submitting, and we'll be able to introduce them to Alex and the rest of the team. This is an opportunity not to only ask Alex, our CEO, but our panelists across departments specific questions in relation to engineering, social media, community, so on and so forth. We can start with a question brought on by Travia. Alex, we're obviously cutting close to our end for our crowdfunding campaign on Republic. We think we're just about 70 days left. Do we have any plans for more rounds in the future?
Yes, thank you, Suk, for summarizing this. And yes, this is the bridge, essentially what we're doing. As you might know from Republic landing page, we're doing convertible note, which is a transition from round A, which we completed back in February, and round B that we're planning to do next year. So there are two ways to participate. First and foremost, everybody can join through Republic. That's the easy way because it's all very streamlined. You just need to register and participate. But even after that, when we complete this campaign on December 31st, we'll continue into more what we call Reg D round with institutional investors. We already have quite a few interested, both existing and new investors. And if somebody is an institutional investor or accredited investor, there's still room to join. But I think for retail, for people with small tickets, I highly recommend to actually do it this year, not wait until 2021.
Absolutely, great. And through Republic and just the ability to showcase our campaign on a platform that attracts a lot of tech enthusiasts, we've gotten a lot of interest from individuals who are actually registering on 1World to not only use us as an end user, but as a potential publisher and advertiser. Alex, can you discuss a bit on the self-registration process and how that works?
Yeah, this is overwhelming sometimes because usually when we launch a big publisher in the region, like it happened in Africa, before that in Eastern Europe, and now we see some of it in other regions, we usually see a flood of self-registrations. So actually, perhaps Emily can speak up to this because she's usually taking care of the self-registrations. Emily, if you please give us your view of how it goes and the process and the volume of self-registrations that you see.
Yes. Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so over the last couple of months, we have received increased amounts of self-registrations from all over the world. Lots from Africa region, some from the Middle East and Asia, and some from the US as well. So basically we for self-registrations, we have kind of created a manual with a series of documents that are in one folder, and we submit that to them. So they can fill out information if they want ads to be served and that sort of thing, what kind of widgets, and also kind of a tutorial of how to create widgets and polls. Just kind of a one-pager. Best practices is also included. And so forth. In Africa region, they have a different process. What they do is they invite a whole bunch of self-registrations to a webinar, kind of an onboarding webinar. That's worked really well for them. So they kind of go through the whole platform and learn how to optimize the tools, and also add units if they would like.
Thank you, Emily. And by the way, Africa is leading our practices in many ways. I think Wally Farun, who leads our team there, is on this webinar, and he will be sharing his experience with other regional managers at our next roundtable, because indeed there is a lot of good practices. I really love this idea of webinar. Thanks for mentioning it, Emily, because we plan to do the same thing in other regions. We definitely plan to do one in Europe, and Julia is managing multiple accounts there. And now we have a few big launches going on in Asia. So once we have, for example, 3 to 5 new publishers that come on board about the same time, we're probably going to group them together and do this online webinar to show best practices and knowledge. But one thing to mention that Maria mentioned on the product side, if you registered, we simplified the onboarding by creating some default IMUs or widgets automatically. So people can start very quickly without even trying to figure out what and where to create, because some default objects already are in the system and can be just installed very quickly.
Yeah, I've seen that, and it's very useful because the default, they have a horizontal widget and a vertical, so it's already created, and also there are a couple of polls that are uploaded as well. So it's really is a lot easier for self-registrations to get started.
Awesome, great. And another question that comes in from Viet, and obviously it's of interest for investors to know exactly the exit strategy for a company. Viet comes in with a question: any chance for our business to get acquired or go IPO soon, Alex?
Yeah, so that's a question we answered a few times, but that's good that people keep wondering about our exit strategy. And as a team that's been through multiple exits in Silicon Valley, of course, we follow the best practices about how to be prepared for this scenario, especially now that we just celebrated 8 years of our company. So it's really a combination of a few factors. We develop strategic relationships with the partners that are important for our business. For example, on the infrastructure side is Amazon, Google, and IBM Watson. We use them in different ways, from hosting to AI engine to advertising solution. On the media side, we, for example, started relationship with Omnicom. And for people who know them, this is one of the biggest media agencies in the world, one of the big names in the advertising business. We just ran a campaign together in Southeastern Asia. We started in Malaysia and now moving towards other regions. And thank you for showing the slide. Yeah, in terms of exit strategy, it could be acquisition, which is most likely. IPO potentially is possible, but there's also SPAC opportunity, which is nearby. Merge and acquisitions is the most typical scenario. We recently compiled a list of acquisitions that happened in our sector, and you can see the range is anywhere between 90 million and 140 million. That's kind of typical for the companies of our age and our level of maturity. But of course, sky's the limit when we enter in the market, which is untouched at the moment. As many people mentioned on the call today, we live at the intersection of media and blockchain, and this is a very exciting area. As you probably, if you're watching the news about what's happening right now after the PayPal announcement and a lot of other initiatives in the sector, the whole media industry is moving towards incentive models, loyalty programs, and so on. And they need a solution. And there's almost nothing on the market today. 1World is probably one of the very, very few companies that has a working product that supports both engagement and loyalty through the functioning token economy. And as Robin and Dan and Emily mentioned, we have a tremendous traction on Newsweek because they're pretty much moving forward on all fronts. But the same thing going on in Europe and Asia. We do have a number of publishers that are willing to try our loyalty program. So I think this intersection is going to be very strategic for 1World. And we're not going to really stop at this level where we are today, but we want to seize the moment, right? And jump to next level within the next year or two, because this is huge market and absolutely uncovered.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. And I guess this is a good transition to our next conversation, which is very recently, and just this week, PayPal announced the launch of cryptocurrencies. And beyond PayPal, we've seen a lot of people in the space, non-blockchain space, who are beginning to endorse cryptocurrencies, whether it's Chase Bank, Robinhood, which now allows, you know, retail investors and stockholders to actually invest and share cryptocurrencies. Could you discuss, Alex, what does that mean for the blockchain space in general and for for 1World, sorry, particularly?
Yeah, I'll say my brief opinion, and I'll probably ask somebody from the team to also chime in, maybe Leonard, because you support the space for many years. My view is that, yeah, when the big players in the fintech industry are moving forward, that's a sign that it's not going to stop anymore, right? Because it's becoming very important for survival for all the bank and financial institutions to support this new technology and, of course, make crypto possible for transactions, which means that if they don't do it within the next 5 years, it will be pretty much obsoleted. Like 1990s, if some businesses don't transition from offline to online, obviously there's no future for them, right? You have to go with the technology, you have to go with the progress. You cannot be dragging behind and ignoring the trends and the people's needs. So that's why it's good to see PayPal making this move. And you mentioned a few other names. We see tremendous energy in some US states like Wyoming and others, where we have Kraken and Avanti, for example, already certified as a crypto plus fiat type of financial institutions. And I think this trend is just gonna amplify. You probably know what's happening with the Bitcoin and Ethereum prices right now. They increased dramatically in the last few days because of this event. And this seems like a general trend. Leonard, if you please chime in, please share your views.
I'm of the same mind. We have essentially seen billions of dollars invested in infrastructure without a major push for mainstream adoption. And now that we're seeing major companies pick up the banner, we have Robinhood, PayPal, obviously, even WhatsApp has offered opportunities for you to invest in cryptocurrencies. I think the mainstream adoption by the common person that comes with that will greatly bolster this particular industry. With that being said, let's hope that, you know, this is something that's real and serious. I think that with everything that's been invested into blockchain by the various companies and startups that since 2015, finally having major industry essentially given okay to cryptocurrencies is a huge boon. I think that everything we've done here at 1World with a tokenized economy will come even more into fruition, that more and more lay people are starting to understand the prominence and importance of blockchain, its uncensorable nature, the boons of decentralized infrastructure. And I'm really positive about our future, given that some of the major players are starting to not look at cryptocurrencies as an adversary and more of something that we can all coexist in the same, along with traditional finance. So extremely optimistic. Let's see what the future holds. And if you've been paying attention to your portfolio, if you're holding cryptocurrencies, it's been quite a glorious few days. So no complaints for me here. Let's just hope that we continue this forward momentum with development technology as well as adoption. And we'll see what the future holds.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think in a lot of positives, one of the main differences or positives for us directly is there's a learning curve on blockchain. People where they were previously hesitant to, you know, engage in anything blockchain related, when they see names that they are comfortable with, household names like PayPal, Robinhood, it definitely lowers the threshold in actually educating the industry users on the blockchain. And obviously 1World is one of the applications, one of the few applications out there that has a blockchain economy, or token economy in it, and we're doing great. This is just going to help us even further. So very, very awesome future ahead of us. I think we're just over 15 minutes ahead. I just wanted to thank everybody. Oops, that shouldn't have happened. Let's see here. I just want to thank everybody for attending. We will be having a next webinar that we'll be announcing in the next week or so. We had a webinar about a month ago that we included a few of our 1World advocates, and we want to do an extension of that webinar and bring on a few more 1World advocates. These are influencers, people who are in the space, thought leaders who are well respected and align themselves with our brand. And we will be announcing a few topics, an agenda, and a date in the next coming weeks. And we look forward to having everyone attend that webinar as well. Thank you very much, everybody. And I thank for all our panelists for helping us today with the webinar.
Thank you, and thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for attending and thanks for participation. Talk soon.